Hey boys and girls, this is Larry, ubrailroad.com. Check me out. Okay, this is an update on the supports. I'm all done. I'm all done gluing, supporting, everything. Here's what I did in a few places. I used these closet plate brackets because they take up less space underneath and they work real good. And this is offset because the wood is the same width as this, and I didn't want to crack the edges out, so I offset it like that, but you'll never see any of that. Okay, this is what it all looks like. It's all done. The only thing I've got left to do is roughly sand the top of it to make it totally smooth, and then lay the track. But before I lay the track, I've got a million things to do outside for the next month, so I'm probably not going to touch this for about a month. But if you build something like this where you use this L girder and lamination, and you have crossovers like I do, use your crossover as ground zero before you start forming or putting all your supports in. In other words, here's like my crossover right here. So I could have two tracks, or I can make a double loop, whatever I want to do. But I made that perfectly level and straight, both places, and then from there I started making my elevations either go up or down, however, and it works out real well that way. But that is the most important, because you don't want derailments or anything like that. Okay, another thing, I do not have the track screwed down yet. I will do that as I start laying track, because over here you can kind of see how goofy this piece is. Well, you don't want your trains to fall inward, so I'm going to have to twist this. I'm thinking I'm going to have to lower that, but that is my 9-inch clearance, and that's what I used in all of my clearances, are 9 inches. And what I did is I took a whole bunch of boards and I marked them 9 inches, cut them 9 inches, and wherever you have an overpass, I would stick it in here and make sure that my clearance is there. Give or take, I mean, I've got a 1/2 inch to work with. My Shea is my tallest engine. It's about a little over 8.5 inches sitting on the rail. So this gives me a 1/2 inch. But here you can see I got just a little bit more on this one right here. I got just about 1/8 of an inch. So this is going to clear. And another thing, my Shea does have a tendency of swinging wide on the front. So you kind of see how I trim this a little bit just to give it more clearance. Think of the locomotives you're going to run and make sure that all your supports and everything, clear them without any problem. That's why I use those shelf hangers, because they take up so much less space. Okay, another thing I did is I cut, these are going to be bridges, tall timber trestles that go all the way to the ground. But I cut this one so I could get in there and do some work. You can kind of see how I cut it. I just cut it straight across. Then I use these shims in here and plug them all together. This is so tight that if I get it all the way pushed in there, I can't get it out without pulling everything. I don't want to do that. The track will be, like I said, will be glued or nailed as I start laying track and see how it goes. But this gives you an idea of what I've done and how far I've come so far. Did I give you the date? Today's the 13th, I think, October 13th. I'm going to be tied up for the next couple, 3 weeks. I got a million things to do outside on my acreage out here, so I probably won't even touch this, which gives me plenty of time to order my track and get things ready for that. But you can kind of see how simple all of this is. I mean, my gosh, look at how few supports and wood I use. Here's all my surplus wood right there, all that over there. I mean, every single piece of board in here was part of the old U&B. I so overbuilt it, and you don't have to do that. Look at here. Here's a leg here, and there's another one 10 feet away. The L girder supports so much weight, it's ridiculous. You know, so like I say, don't overbuild. And look at this. I've got boxes and hundreds of screws left over. I mean, if I could cash these screws in, there's probably an extra 40 bucks just sitting here in trays and little tubs. So, you know, 2 screws hold as good as 4, because nobody's walking on your layout. You don't have to worry about wind or damage or anything like that indoors. Now, outdoors, I might have, you know, used a few more screws, but I'll tell you what, not much more. A lot of people that go with this outdoors, instead of using wood, they use that that composite decking. And I've seen a lot of people do this. I do not have the secret to lamination, okay? This is the first time I ever used it. There's a lot of good videos out there that show you how to do it. But this is how I did mine. And then you noticed all of this right here. This isn't even laminated. That's just a cedar board, because most of that's going to be in the mountain anyway, so it's like, why waste all that on a straightaway? You know, there's no reason to. So this is what I got, guys. When I get started again, which is going to be laying the track, I'll let you know with an update, and if you like, post it. If you don't, well, you don't. So anyway, this is Larry, over and out.